Welcome back to the Blazing Overture, Episode 3, The Replacements. Definitely not the movie starring Keanu Reeves, but instead, we're going to talk about The Bad Batch.
So let's do that video and music thing known as the intro. All right, so there's this long-standing tradition at the Blazing Overture where we talk about you hitting the like button.
And also, pushing the subscribe button. And maybe ringing that notification bell.
Well, episode 3, Replacements.
Yeah, it was another episode of just kind of slowness.
Boring.
Yeah, it wasn't as slow as the last episode.
No.
But yeah, they're not exactly blazing a light speed trail here.
No, I guess we had heard a little bit. There's supposed to be something big happening in this episode. Didn't seem like there was anything really big there.
No.
What was the big reveal? Nothing.
Well, I guess we kind of learned why they're going to stormtroopers instead of the clone troopers.
Money based again.
Well, is it necessarily money based? So
I don't know.
They're looking at people who are willingly wanting to be part of the Empire.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's big part based on cost savings for one.
For sure, yeah, it is.
And then creating the loyalty to the Empire. So obviously Rampart there tasking him with kind of heading that operation of getting human troops, or it seems like mostly human.
Recruiting.
Yeah.
People from different civilizations to kind of start taking over each individual sector, I guess.
Yeah.
As they talked about in, I guess it would be a New Hope when the Empire abolished the local governors or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
They're kind of establishing localized, security and we seen that last episode when they introduced the chain coding.
Yeah.
So they're just kind of building their system, or seeing how their system was built and the reasoning behind it. We get to see that from that side of it, and then I guess from the other side of it, it was kind of just a nothing episode of them discovering, I guess Omega's skills, kind of to a degree.
Yeah, she's kind of somewhat, I guess, trying to find her place in the team, trying to be a little more fearless, asking, "Can I do this? Can I get involved?" And maybe
kind of proving her worth, I guess.
And maybe we're going to see what her skill set is. Like Hunter talked again about the different skill sets that they all had, and talking about what they can all do. So we haven't really seen what she can do yet.
To a degree, like we seen in the first episode that she could handle she's basically a marksman.
Yeah.
In this episode, she kind of was intuitive with the creature, and didn't have to kill it to get the part back. I think we're gonna see that she just has, like, I'm not sure if it's heightened senses overall or what it is exactly. If they'll actually describe what it is, maybe they won't even describe it.
Well, yeah.
But she just seems to be a heightened, human being.
Well, and I wonder with the Kaminoans, do they want her back? Because they kind of briefly, is it Omega that they want? I feel like that's
they were talking about getting the main clone back so they could replicate.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that she is somehow special, maybe,
Yeah.
if that's who it is. But I'm guessing that's what I'm getting from the episode.
That seems like it. And we all know that the cloning facility somehow must get shut down at some point during the Star Wars saga, because we get, like I said, we're seeing the, I guess, evolution of the Empire and where they're going. So yeah, I think what's kind of neat about this is that we do get to see the other side of kind of the sort of bad guy side of things, right? Because we know what happens with the Skywalkers and where they go and the rebellion and what happens. So now we're kind of seeing that. Well, this is how the Empire got to this point.
Yeah, getting to see the Empire side of it and what takes place on that side.
Yeah.
I'm still interested to see exactly how clones get completely phased out, because by the time we get to Rogue One and A New Hope, you don't really see any clones at all at that point, right?
Do you think there is still some in there, maybe?
Is there a possibility? Yeah, but if there is, they've obviously degraded because they can't hit anything, just like the stormtroopers.
So bad.
But because like that's one of the telltale things is
Yeah.
the clone troopers are just super accurate and super soldiers almost in a way.
Yeah.
Whereas the stormtroopers can hit the broadside of a barn.
Oh,
So I really don't know if we actually did see any in those movies or not, or if there was a possibility of them being in there. But if they were, they didn't stand out.
yeah, and that's I think that's just what happens is you phase out the good or whatever. And how do they decommission them? Do they just take them out back and shoot them?
Well, that's what I'm wondering if we're going to
Yeah.
see that or exactly how if they're going to show us to that degree. But we actually talked about this episode how it did take a turn for the dark.
Oh yeah.
That was actually quite surprising. That they literally, for a cartoon, just in front of you. Well, they didn't
Yeah.
show it, but they wiped out Saw Gerrera's.
Well, yeah.
Well, this they were the civilians. even.
Civilians, yeah. Definitely not. That's not really a kid's cartoon.
No, it wasn't exactly family friendly, but
No. And I guess that's just showing what the Empire was all about because they really didn't care.
no.
And it was all about control and power and getting people to fall in line, right? Compliance, right?
Yeah.
So,
And the other side we have to see that actually we talked about, but we didn't really touch on, was we kind of see the beginnings of what we saw in the original trilogy with the Empire. How if you succeeded and did what say Grand Moff Tarkin wanted,
mhm.
how you were promoted. We got to see.
Yeah.
What, I'm not sure. I can't remember the character's name. How he got promoted to admiral.
Rampart
Yeah.
Riders, yeah. Yeah, he gets promoted to admiral, and it's funny though. I always wait till Vader gets around and then starts to just
I-
killing people.
I was just thinking the same thing. That he got promoted, but that's probably not a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. Then he gets aced out, and the new guy's in.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think that's kind of what they, in a way, they kind of wanted to instill that in their rank because there's always someone hungry wanting to do the job and do it do it to a better degree to further themselves, right?
Well, and it's like I said, they touched on the basing things on loyalty.
Yeah.
Being part of the Empire, wanting to be in the Empire, and those guys are blindly. You think about some troopers, they're blindly going wherever they're told to go. It's like, okay, you're going here, and you can just go in like almost kamikaze like, and it's interesting how people have that blind loyalty to either one side or the other. Like it's, but I guess that's war, right?
But and that's the thing. Yeah, we're seeing it from both sides now. Finally,
Yeah.
we're seeing the Empire side of things with this series, and it's just kind of a fresh take on it, which I like.
Well, yeah. Well, the one trooper had said, I get a roof over my head, get a good wage, and it's more than what
food in the stomach, and
yeah,
and he never got that helping out.
with the Republic. Yeah. So I think that's an interesting take on it. You know, if the Empire is doing that for their troopers, I mean, maybe that's why you can get more guys to recruit. Well, I mean, if you think back, like guys like Han Solo wanted to join the Imperials, right? He wanted to be part of the Empire at the start, but then he's fighting in that and realizes that's not what he wants to do, right? So I think it's an interesting take that people want to get involved, but then obviously some there's deserters and they want to get out of there. Like, so,
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's a point where they will get into it and actually find out what the Empire is all about,
mhm.
and some will be all for it, and some will be against it. It's just like real
Yeah.
life. That's just everybody has their own moral compass, and they follow that.
Yeah, overall though, I'm looking forward to see. You know, we don't really know where the Clone Force 99 is headed, and
No.
they made mention that they want to try and get Crosshair back because they want to leave a man behind. And he looked at the end of the episode, kind of that he was. It's like something he was thinking. He was sitting on the bunk thinking about it, right?
Well, I'm sure that all his past memories and everything will play a part in,
Mhm.
and it will play a part in what makes him up as a human being. I think that he, down deep inside, is kind of fighting against the chip, the inhibitor chip.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a few episodes yet before we see him break free. I think they'll kind of drag that out. I think might be the end game of this series is to get him free. But who knows? There's lots of episodes left, so who knows where they can go with it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I guess we see what happens next week and what's up next.
Yeah, and hopefully the action picks up a little bit and just gives us a little bit more. It's a little slow start, but we generally seen that in a lot of series lately. So, who knows what's going to come.
That's right. Well, that wraps up the third episode of The Bad Batch. Definitely looking forward to see where Clone Force 99 is headed next.
Do us a huge favor, drop some comments and questions, theories in the comment section below. And until the next episode, This is Chris and Jay.
See you later.